Alright, we're going to do a showcase of Hela with the full Hela synergy team. So obviously she needs Odin. She doesn't need the Nick and Quake, but whenever I can and I don't need to bring other champs, I use this. So with all of the buffs that have happened, there's so many champs in this game you can rave about. And I'm not making an argument that Hela is just one of those champs that you rave about. She is just so far beyond anyone else as far as damage. We still got those 3 evade charges, so watch how much you can ramp this up. Look at this. This is so far beyond what we need to be. Oh my Jesus. And look at this. One hit's going to be done. So that was all of 20, 25 seconds, maybe? And we're moving right along. So obviously with Odin, she gains twice as many Furies. And with Nick and Quake, you have that security where you can evade 3 times to build up those Furies. So usually what you do is you get close to your special 2 right here, and then however you want, I hope that doesn't happen again, you're going to bait out their special 2. There we go. And now we're just building it up. Boom. 21 Furies. We're losing health because of some node. And they're just done. Boom. So there are a lot of arguments to be made here. And you see the rankings on YouTube and you don't see Hela very high up, and I've always really disagreed with that. You know, when it's hard to ignore damage. You know, a lot of champs are about, they're about power control, or they're about immunities, or... But we're talking about a champ where she is the best at what? Damage. That's not just an aspect of the game. We're talking about damage itself. We're not even going to build up a lot of Furies this time. We don't need it. They're already done. The time it takes for these matches, it makes so even if you're losing health due to some node like we are, she's still just sweeping right through it. Now let's talk about the team itself, the Hela team that I use here almost every time whenever I can. And if you can't, for some reason, you take Hercules, you take Kitty. But plenty of times this team itself is going to work just fine. Remember back in the day when Quake was your #1 ranked champ consistently on the rankings? I feel like people are just forgetting about her. Okay, it takes a little while, but we'll just talk about stuff throughout this. Oops. So this Hela team, Quake and Hela work perfect. What's happening? They work perfectly together. Because on these kinds of matches where you don't use Hela, Quake is going to take care of the rest. So all of Act 7 and 8 I have explored, except for the ones with the mega bosses. And we've done about half of those with Hercules and probably Kitty. And the other half, we have used this Hela team right here. And there's just no comparing anyone to Hela. Damn. Oh, we gotta bait out now. I mean, Noel is great, Hyperion. But there's no comparing them to what Hela can do. And as far as rankings, I think she's the number 2 Cosmic. And it's... I mean, the only one you can compare her to is Hercules. And if it weren't for Hercules' immortality, which I think is one of the best signatures in the game, I would put Hela far above him. It's the immortality that makes Hercules, again, so important. Otherwise, you know, it's a lot of damage. But that's really what makes Hercules so important, is all of these paths where you're going to get knocked out. You've built up your attack, your ramp up, and then when you're going to die because of some node, his immortality just cleans up the matches. And that signature is really why Hercules is your number 1 in the game. I've always said that. And people who say he doesn't need the dupe, I mean, it really, Hercules' dupe is going to take care of, for me, it does at least double what he would without his dupe, if you're talking about a quest. Where I'll go halfway through, I ramp him up, there's probably some BS node that's damaging things, and normally that would be it, even for Hercules, but when he's immortal and unblockable, then you basically clean up the rest of the quest, including the boss, and if it's really hard, you use 1 revive on the boss, and Hercules takes care of it. So that's why he's number 1. But oftentimes, this Hela team does just as well, if not better. Just doesn't work as often. But when it works, it's honestly way better. I mean, not to mention, I made a few mistakes here because I'm talking, but you get a lot better at Quake when you use the Hela team, which I'm very grateful for. Certainly a lot more ease beating whatever you want to beat when you can just do Quake. But what, they have unblockable, they have unstoppable, you can't hit them, like this Morning Star with bleeds. That doesn't matter. You know, you got to earn your Hela. That's how I see it. You know, you got to use Quake when you can't use Hela for 1 or 2 fights in the quest. Or you'll sacrifice Odin, or whatever. You got to earn the Hela, which is what I'm doing right now. Oh, oops. And it's a perfect compliment, because all these Mystic champs, and you know, Hela has been cleaning up plenty of Mystic champs, believe me. When you don't, it doesn't even matter. Her damage is so it's so ridiculous that it just doesn't matter about the class. It just matters about the node. Now, here's again, I would use Quake here for Spider-Ham, but let's just see what Hela can do when everything's stacked against her here. We're just gonna build up immediately. Look at that. We're not even getting started. That's just a heavy. Just heavy attacks, and he's almost done. Look at this. What? Done. Look at that. What? That's not even a showcase. We didn't get to special 2 at all. And it was just over. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people who talk against Hela, I feel like you're just not good at her. Because the damage is so far beyond what anyone else does in the game. And there's nothing wrong with this synergy team as a whole either. Odin's great, actually, but not in comparison. Nick Fury, wish I had a Duke the 6-star, which I have of him. It's our kind of last thing we want to do. And you get better with Quake. I mean, this team is absolutely insane. Alright, and we had to use one of our evade charges there. You just get away with that whenever you can. And it's already doing a bunch of damage before... There we go. It's over. Yeah. So... You know, people talk against me bringing Heimdall all the time. Look at this. Here we are. We're at the end. We still got a full Nick Fury, a full Odin. Still got Quake. And Hela's right there hanging on. Power manipulation, let's see. Alright, so, yeah, here we go. There's not even anything here we gotta worry about. So, Hela is basically at her last legs because of these nodes that were damaging her. I don't even know what it was. I don't care. So, I don't think we're gonna make it here because all we have left is... Yeah, we're not going to make it. Look at that, though. What? This is without armor break or anything. Just from the Furies. And now... That's it. Oh my Jesus. I can't believe we actually got away with it. So, made mistakes. Nodes that are against her. She just swept the entire quest. Quake did one thing. Boom.